Do you think Apple will come out with a VR headset, or do you think they're just going to go straight to AR? Because everything Tim Cook says is like, tipping towards AR. And if they had VR, kind of think they would have put it out by now. So
yeah,
what's your gamesmanship there?
I think it's, I think AR and VR are two sides of the same coin. And, technically the Quest has AR in it, right? You have that pass-through mode where you can kind of lay out your Guardian and see through. That's AR. And I think
Explain what that is for people who don't know the Guardian concept and,
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Quest has cameras on it, right? So that it can see the real world, and that's how it knows your position, and that's how it does its tracking.
Right. On the outside, cameras on the outside looking at the world on your behalf.
Yeah, exactly. Cameras on the outside looking at the world. They're black and white cameras. They're actually, I think, infrared cameras. And you can use that to see through the device. So you get a view of what is going on outside. And you can see your hands and everything. They're just opening up APIs so that developers can use that to build experiences. And when you first put it on, you use the controller to basically outline your Guardian, which says, this is my safe space. It's not going to include a chair or a couch or something that I might smash my hand into. And as my controller gets closer to the Guardian, it's going to show up in VR so that I know that I don't want to go past this point. So I think Apple's going to come out with a device that is primarily VR focused, but it has cameras like the Quest that are much higher resolution so that you can see through, and you could see your hands, you can see other people. But, the other people they're not going to see your eyes, most likely, is my guess. It'll be like the Quest, but a better form factor where they see, your face is still effectively covered by the device versus something like Magic
See, that would be cool, because then you could go to your backyard with your headsets on. You could actually hold a real golf club.
Right.
Or instead of using the Oculus controllers, they could snap onto a real golf club. Right. And you could be out there on your back deck swinging and see your actual friend, but instead of seeing the real world, it would then display Pebble Beach on, your deck in Brooklyn in your backyard or something. That's what's coming, isn't it?
100%. That's where we see it going, is letting you swing your actual club and hitting an actual golf ball.
Oh, really?
Into a net, and then transmitting that data into VR and running the physics simulation. Which is 100% possible.
What those golf simulators do. I was saying at a rented Airbnb that was like some rich guy's thing, and it had a golf simulator in it. And like part of renting the Airbnb was this 100,000. Those golf simulators cost $100,000 or something.
The really good ones do. They come down to $5,000, but you kind of get what you pay for.
Got it. And in that one, it was like a box in this room next to a bowling alley. This guy had a trick out in his house, and it was like you could just hit the ball, and it had a big projection screen. It was interesting. I mean, not for me, but so that's going to be available to everybody in VR/AR. What do you call that VR with the cameras on the outside that is more like an AR experience?
That's called pass-through. So
needs a better brand.
Yeah. Pass-through basically means you're still looking at a screen inside, right? You're still looking at a screen, but it's displaying what's outside of the device. It's displaying through the cameras. Versus something like Magic Leap, where you're actually looking through lenses. So you're seeing, it's the same as looking through sunglasses. Pass-through is looking at a screen, and then the other option is just looking through glass lenses. There are pros and cons to each. My bet is that pass-through is where we'll see the majority of devices coming out in terms of being AR and VR capable.
Are you a subscription-based app, or do you just sell the app one time and then try to get people to buy packs?
Right now, it's just one time, $20. We are going to the Wolf Creek thing is going to be our first pack, so our first golf course. And where we see this going eventually is, I'm not sure how into NFTs and crypto and that type of thing, but we really see a lot of the things happening in VR turning into components of this sort of greater metaverse, right? Where the metaverse, in my mind, is like the web. It's not quite like the internet, because the internet kind of powers everything, right? And the internet doesn't actually need a display, but the web is how you interface with the internet in a lot of cases. And I think the metaverse is going to work like that. It's interfacing with, the internet or whatever, through a virtual interface. And we think the big opportunity is effectively building out the golf side of that, right? If you look at the real world, nobody owns the sport of golf. It's a sport, And there are a lot of companies that make money off of the sport by contributing to it in different ways. Golf clubs, golf courses, all that. So we kind of want to set it up to effectively give our players the ability to sell their own packs, to create their own golf clubs, to create their own golf courses, and, structure it in a way where we get some small fee for doing that.
Wow.
But
so you could actually make the game free, and then it comes with one course, and you get a ton of users. And then you say to your users, listen, create holes, and people can buy holes. They can buy packs. They can buy challenges. They can buy clubs. And we just get 10%. And if you buy this course, you get an NFT version of it. In other words, you get to put it in your wallet. And then you could take that. You could take your golf clubs and you could take your course and go put it in your world on the other side of the metaverse somewhere. Kind 100%. Of a more compelling process. When you look at a company like Facebook, and they basically took the open web and closed it. Now they're saying they're going to do this open. There doesn't seem to be an open standard for VR. So as a developer, you're making for the Oculus. You're already locked into Oculus. When Apple's comes out, or if Microsoft and Google have a product that kind of, you have HoloLens, rather. I think Halo's a cooler name. HoloLens. If you want it to be on HoloLens or, Apple's new glasses, you're going to have to rewrite this whole code base. It's going to be ported, or how much can you port and how hard is that going to be?
Yeah, thankfully it's very easy. Almost every single experience that, you have in VR right now is either built with Unity or Unreal, which are two game engines, both very, very, very well done. And ours is Unity. So as soon as Apple comes out or any other headset comes out, there are relatively few APIs that we're using that are Oculus specific. And even on top of that, they have something called OpenXR, which is effectively creating this bridge layer that will end up connecting with all the major headsets. So it is actually being set up in a way that is way better than any other platform that I've seen, even from the onset. Right now, it's just basically 100% controlled by Oculus, because that's the only headset that's
Is there
selling.
A number 2 headset?
It would probably be the HTC Vive or the Valve Index, but
are those people still investing in them? And PlayStation had one at some point, right?
Yeah, actually, the PSVR might be the second by the numbers, but it hasn't really done much in the last few years. PlayStation, Sony's apparently coming out with a PSVR 2 next year. That's the expectation. Apple's coming out with something. HTC just put out a new headset, but it's not really gaming focused. It's a little bit unclear what they're trying to do with that. And then Valve is, TBD. I think a lot of folks in the space are hoping that they keep going with it.